In the Appalachian Mountains, people don't just get lost. They disappear, and no one knows why. The Appalachian Mountains stretch across the eastern United States like a silent, living spine of the continent. Their peaks and valleys have stood for millions of years. Older than our cities, older than our roads, older than the people who now call their edges home. For hikers, campers, and adventurers, these mountains are a paradise of greenery, wildlife, and quiet. But beneath their breathtaking beauty lies a dark secret, one that locals rarely speak about aloud. A pattern of disappearances so strange, so inexplicable, that even experts remain puzzled. People enter the Appalachian wilderness, and some simply never return. The first thing most visitors notice is the profound calm. Birds sing, leaves rustle, streams gurgle, but deeper in beyond the well-traveled paths, an odd silence can settle like a heavy fog. Hikers describe it as the quiet. It's not just a lack of sound, it's the complete absence of it. No wind, no birds, no insects, just an unnerving stillness. Many who have experienced it say that when the quiet comes, a feeling of being watched follows almost immediately. Instinctively, they turn around, scanning the trees. Some follow their gut intuition and leave. Others do not, and that is when the disappearances often occur. Most cases seem unremarkable at first glance. A hiker sets out along a familiar trail and fails to return by nightfall. Search teams comb the surrounding area for hours, sometimes days, but find nothing that explains the person's absence. No broken branches, no footprints beyond a certain point, no signs of a struggle. In some cases, highly trained search dogs lose the scent entirely, as if the person had simply vanished into thin air. These reports are documented in local ranger logs, police records, and missing persons files, but the circumstances remain eerily consistent. Experienced hikers, young children, even locals who know the terrain like the back of their hand disappear without leaving a single piece of evidence. Caves and abandoned mine shafts play a particularly sinister role in these Appalachian mysteries. The mountains are riddled with vast underground systems. Some are mapped, but many are not. Locals speak of certain caves as being wrong or hungry. Those who venture inside sometimes return, but they are disoriented. Speaking of hearing voices that call them by name, whispering secrets only they could possibly know, others never return at all. Scientists have tried to rationalize these phenomena. Perhaps echoing sounds, drafts, or optical illusions are to blame. But what the hikers report defies any simple explanation. Different people hear different voices. Some even claim to hear voices they don't recognize. But that sounds strangely human, almost comforting, until the lure becomes dangerous. One case from the 1990s illustrates the bizarre consistency of these disappearances. A group of 4 experienced hikers entered a well-known trail near the Smoky Mountains. They had full gear, GPS trackers, and cell phones. About 2 hours into their hike, the forest went completely silent. The birds stopped singing. A soft mist rolled in unexpectedly, covering the forest floor like a white blanket. One hiker's voice is recorded on a GPS tracker, asking the others if they heard a soft whispering of a name. Within just 10 minutes, one of the hikers vanished, even though the others were just a few meters away. Their desperate calls went unanswered. The remaining 3 fled, eventually finding their way back to safety, shaken but unharmed. Search teams later found the missing hiker's backpack neatly folded atop a rock near a creek. It was empty, as if it had been placed there deliberately. The hiker was never found. Another strange pattern involves the recovery of personal items. Shoes, jackets, or small backpacks often appear far from where the person was last seen. Sometimes, these items are arranged carefully, suggesting the presence of an unseen observer. Children who go missing in the Appalachian wilderness have occasionally been found days later, alive, but completely unable to explain where they were. One young boy, found on a remote ledge, said only, "A man told me to stay quiet. He kept me safe." His medical records indicated a level of dehydration far beyond what would normally be expected for the time he had been missing. Cases like this defy all logical explanation and only add to the deep mystery surrounding these ancient mountains. Locals often have their own names for whatever is causing these disappearances. They speak quietly, if they speak at all, about the watchers or the quiet ones. Some elders claim the mountains are alive, in ways humans simply cannot understand, that the trees and caves have memories of every person who walks among them. These are not ghost stories told for fun around a campfire. They are serious warnings. Many Appalachian families pass these stories down through generations to their children. If the forest grows silent, turn back. Trust your instincts. The mountains do not forget. Even our modern technology struggles to explain the disappearances. GPS signals fail in certain areas without any logical interference. Cell phone reception can vanish for no apparent reason. There are even accounts of emergency calls being made from deep inside the mountains, in areas where no roads or trails exist. The recordings are strange. The caller's voice is distant, distorted, and whispering, sometimes cutting out mid-sentence. Search helicopters have reported sudden, localized fog appearing without any weather triggers. Compasses have been known to behave erratically, spinning wildly. These anomalies fuel speculation that there may be environmental or geological explanations, but nothing has ever fully accounted for the sheer number of unexplained vanishings. While the Appalachian Mountains are a vast wilderness, the disappearances tend to cluster in certain areas. Dense forests with hidden caves, isolated valleys, and narrow, treacherous ridges. These are not the places casual hikers typically explore. They are locations with steep drop-offs, tangled undergrowth, and paths so faint they seem to disappear from view entirely. Yet, the people who go missing are often experienced, careful individuals. Some are even local residents who are intimately familiar with the terrain, which suggests that simple ignorance alone cannot explain why they vanish. Stories of strange encounters have circulated for decades. Hikers report hearing footsteps crunching on leaves behind them when no one is there. Others claim to see fleeting shadows moving between the trees, always just at the edge of their vision. A few have even described strange lights flickering deep within caves or in mist-filled hollows. These phenomena are consistent across multiple decades and counties, suggesting that the Appalachian wilderness itself or something within it has a role to play. One of the most unsettling things is how quickly these disappearances occur. Witnesses say that people vanish in an instant. They are visible one moment and completely gone the next. Search dogs, tracking the trail, will lose the scent abruptly. No environmental factors, not weather, terrain, or animals can fully explain these sudden vanishes. And in some heartbreaking cases, families report hearing the missing person calling for help, only for the calls to stop abruptly. When search teams arrive at the location, there is no one there. Despite decades of investigation, law enforcement, rescue operations, and scientific studies have all failed to explain all of the disappearances. The cases that remain unsolved share chilling characteristics. The person is experienced or familiar with the wilderness. The weather and terrain are not considered dangerous, and the person disappears without a trace. These unexplained vanishings are what make the Appalachian Mountains one of America's most enduring and terrifying mysteries. The mountains continue to draw hikers, tourists, and adventurers because of their undeniable beauty and solitude. They are not inherently hostile, but there is a silent warning woven into their fabric. The mountains are vast, ancient, and full of secrets. There are trails that are safe, and there are trails where the mountains seem to decide who may pass and who may vanish. Locals speak of areas where time seems to shift, where fog rises without wind, and where voices echo from unseen places. They tell these stories not for entertainment, but as a serious caution. Park rangers advise all the standard safety measures. Group hiking, sticking to marked paths, and bringing proper gear. They emphasize the importance of paying attention to your instincts and your Yet, even with all these precautions, the pattern persists. The Appalachian Mountains have claimed the experienced and the unprepared alike. There are no shortcuts or guarantees. Those who respect the forest often return. Those who do not sometimes become part of the legend. The Appalachian Mountains are a paradox, breathtakingly beautiful, yet quietly terrifying. The silence that falls, the whisper of the trees, and the sudden disappearance of people combine into a chilling reality that has persisted for centuries. What happens to those who vanish remains unknown. Some theorists suggest perfectly natural explanations, while others hint at the supernatural. But the truth is that the mountains themselves guard their secrets fiercely. And we humans, no matter how careful or prepared, can vanish without a trace. Every year, hikers, campers, and adventurers continue to explore these trails, and every year, a small but persistent number of people disappear. Their names are added to missing persons files, their photos displayed on bulletin boards and news reports. But the mystery endures. Search teams come and go, helicopters sweep the ridges, and family members hold on to hope. Yet, for some, the Appalachian Mountains are not a place to return from, and so the warnings persist. If the forest grows quiet, turn back. Trust your instincts. Stick to the marked trails, because in the Appalachian Mountains, getting lost is not always the greatest danger. Sometimes, the mountains simply decide to keep you. They have stood for millions of years. They have survived ice ages, storms, and human encroachment. And perhaps, quietly, they have claimed some of those who enter, keeping their secrets beneath the canopy of trees, in the misty hollows, and inside the caves that have no end. The forest watches. The mountains remember. And for those who vanish, they become part of something far older and darker than anyone can fully understand. Thanks for watching. If you have any theories or have heard similar stories, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more mysteries like this one. Stay safe out there.